Yes, dear students, in the last class we have studied about the quantitative and qualitative verification of Debye-Hückel limiting law. We have also studied Hückel equation and Debye-Hückel Ensemble equation. So, from the last class, your second unit has been completed. That is, electrochemistry 1 has been completed. So, now it is your duty to write the assignment for various questions of electrochemistry 1, what we have studied. In a day or two, I am going to share some of the important questions of Unit 1 as an assignment. Then you have to write, you have to follow the book, write the assignment neatly, and you have to submit in your Google Classroom itself. Okay? That I will give you the assignment questions very shortly. Next unit we are going to enter, that is Unit 3. Which is Electrochemistry 2. Electrochemistry 2, this unit is entirely different from the previous unit. In the previous unit we have studied the mean ionic activity coefficient and how it relates with the Debye-Hückel theory, and how mean activity coefficient is derived from Debye-Hückel limiting law and its verification, Debye-Hückel equation. So all these things we have studied in the previous unit. That is entirely different. But this unit actually gives information about what is the different structures or different assumptions of electrode-electrolyte interface. What is the first topic in this chapter is electrolyte interface and adsorption at electrical interface. Adsorption at electrical interface. Adsorption of particles on electrical interface. Today we are going to study about this one. What is electrode-electrolyte interface? Listen, most of the electrodes in electrochemistry, whether it is oxidation or reduction, these reactions occurs only between electrode and electrolyte. What is electrode? Electrode is a metallic piece. It is a piece of a metal that conducts electricity. Okay? Why the metal conducts electricity? Because metal crystals are made up of This is metal. If you take any metal piston and observe, the metal atoms are arranged in the form of grooves like this. These metal atoms have a free electron, outermost electron. So there will be a sea of electrons with the positive holes. That is, these electrons will not remain static. They are always jumping from one metal atom to another. Jumping. These now loosely bound electrons will not remain stationary. They always move from one metal atom to another. They have a lattice of positive ions with the free electrons. That free electrons are always moving from one metal atom to another. Therefore, metals are good conductors of electricity. In electrochemistry, most of the metals are used as electrodes. For example, you might have studied different types of electrodes. Zinc electrode, copper electrode, silver electrode, iron electrode, tin electrode. Okay? So all these electrodes are made up of metals. Only electrodes in electrochemistry are not discussed. Electrodes are always connected by some liquid phase. That is electrolyte. What is electrolyte? First, we have understood what is metal. Metal is nothing but it has made up of a loosely bound electrons. That is something like a sea of electrons in the positive charged cloud. That is metals. And electrolyte. What is electrolyte? Electrolyte, most of the electrolytes are in a liquid stage. Usually, the ionic substances are dissolved in a particular solvent. They exist in the form of ions. Okay? Cations and anions. So, such type of substances is called electrolytes. They also conduct electricity by migration of ions towards oppositely charged electrodes. So in the electrolytic conduction is due to migration of ions from one place to another. Whereas in the case of metallic conduction, the conduction is due to movement of electrons. So electronic conduction in the case of metals, ionic conduction in the case of electrolytes. Now let us discuss what is metal electrolyte interface. See, in metal electrolyte interface we have. Now let us consider this is metal. Okay. Metal. This metal is at the surface there will be electrons. Okay? Electrons. See, if we apply the charge density, if the charge is excess, then the metal will be negative charge. If the charge is deficit, the metal will be positive charge. And this metal surface is surrounded by surrounded by, there will be some charge is there, either positive charge or negative charge, depends on the charge density of the metal. Usually the charge density is given as Qm. Okay, charge density of the metal. Say, usually in an electrolyte, this is metal and here the electrolyte is present. What will contain electrolyte? Electrolyte will have negative ions, positive ions and hydrated molecules, water molecules will be there. During any electrochemical process, see, there will be a water dipoles adsorbed over the surface of a metal. For example, if the metal is having negatively charged, then a positively charged will be produced on the surface of a metal. And this is water dipoles adsorb water dipoles adsorbed over the metal surface. And this is the first layer gets adsorbed. And after that, there will be negative and positive ions present in the electrolyte. When the positive ions are small, they get solvated by water dipoles like this. They get solvated by water dipoles. And when the negative ions are very large, okay, they are not solvated because their sizes are large. The smaller sized ions get solvated much when compared to the bigger sized ion. If I assume negatively charged ion are larger in size, then there will be unsolvated state. Whereas the positively charged ions are smaller in size, they get solvated. Apart from this, there will be water molecules will be present. This is the electrolyte layers. So these layers adsorbed over the surface of a metal. So this is the first layer. First layer is solvent water dipole molecules, solvated water molecules. And in the second layer, we can say, okay, in the secondary layer, we have positively solvated ions adsorbed over the surface. After that, negatively charged unsolvated ions will be there, and in between the what is called as solvent water molecules will be there. Then what happens? There will be potential developed between the electrolyte and metal surface. Whenever there is a potential difference, what is the potential difference? The charge density is different at the metal surface and it is different at the electrolyte interface. So this is called metal electrolyte interface. Due to the difference in the charge, there will be a potential difference arises. This potential is called QLM. That is total potential difference between metal and electrolytic surface, or total metal electrolytic potential is called QLM. Sometimes in some books, this potential is also called zeta potential. This potential is also called zeta potential or total potential difference between the metal and electrolyte interface. Okay. This will vary with the nature of the metal as well as the nature of the electrolyte with which this metal is in contact. This type of different types of structural assumptions have been given by different scientists. Like Helmholtz has given his different assumption. Goy-Chapman has given his different assumption. Perrin has given different assumption. Stern, there is another model of electrical double layer. So, in the next topics we are going to study, there are 4 different models of electrical double layer theories. That is, first one is Helmholtz theory, Goy-Chapman theory, Perrin theory, Stern theory of the Stern model. All these things we are going to study. For all, this is the basic. And this is also called electrical double layer. Because of this, there will be absorption of ions over the surface of a metal. Because of this, the potential develops. This potential is called total metal electrolyte interface potential. When the charge density on the metal is excess, then in that case, the surface of the charge, that is, the metal surface charge will be negative. If the charge density is positive, okay, then or deficit, the metal surface will be positive, and there will be a net potential difference between the metal and the electrolyte is called metal electrolyte interface, and the potential arises between the movement of ions in the electrolyte side is called the potential difference between electrolyte and metal. And sometimes this potential is also called zeta potential or the total metal electrolyte potential. Okay, anyway you can call. Okay, so therefore this is the process of electrode electrolyte interface. So this is the basic concept of electrode electrolyte interface. At the electrode, there will be electronic conduction taking place. In the electrolyte phase, there will be ionic conduction taking place. Because of this two metal electrolyte contact, there will be a potential arises between the electrolyte and the metal. Okay? So therefore, this is the basic concept of metal electrolyte interface and absorption of electrical interface. In the next class, we will study the Helmholtz double layer theory, and the very important topic in the next class we are going to discuss is what is called as Lippmann equation, that is electrocapillary phenomena, in which we are going to study Lippmann equation. Okay, so all of you, for this you follow the electrochemistry by class 10. It will be easy for you to understand. So this in this unit we have some 4 to 5 very important 10-mark questions. What are that? We have to explain different models of electrical double layer theories. Okay, separately the question will be asked. What about write a note on Helmholtz theory of electrical double layer, or Dirac-Chapman theory of electrical double layer, Perrin theory of electrical double layer, or Stern model of electrical double layer theory. Okay, all these things we are going to study in this chapter one by one. Okay, so therefore we have started the second unit. Okay, it is very easy to understand, very easy to score marks, provided you have to understand the concept. Okay, the next topic we will discuss in the next class.